On the left bottom of your screen, under Global Preferences and Settings, you have the option called Preferences. If you click on this, you'll get the options to set your preference for the designs. Typically, the preference of whatever is set through the admin portal of your organization is accepted in your designs, but if you want to make any manual changes for the particular design, then you can definitely do that. Under select the preference, you can set in which area you want to make changes. Suppose if I select kitchen, then you can set the preference of your design for all the kitchen details. Under carcass, you'll get the option to set your core materials, the back core material, external finish, internal finish, and edge binding. For example, if you want to specify the core material, you can select the toggle option here, and you'll get the option to select whichever core material you want. Suppose I want to specify it as post laminated MDF of 16 mm MDF plain. So I can select on that, and the preference will be set for my entire design. Similarly, you can set the other finishes as well. This is for the carcass. You can also specify regarding the finishes of the shutter by selecting the shutter tab here. You can specify what design of the shutter you require, which means the profiling. When you select this, you have the different options like whether you want a glass shutter, a wooden shutter, and what profiling you need. You also have the option of what external finish you want by default and what are the internal finish, core material, edge binding for the same. Let's say, for example, I want to specify that the external finish of my material has to be American maple. So I'll select this, and any cabinet I install hereafter will have the external finish in the shutter as American maple. You can also specify the handle that you want. First, click on Enable, and under the handles option, you can select handles here, and you can select whichever handle you want to specify. Let's say I'm taking antique handle. You can also specify the countertop, select finish, and under finish, you can select whichever countertop you want. Let's say I'm selecting granite of charcoal black. The same goes for skirting. Suppose I want a wooden skirting, and I can specify the finish that I want in my skirting. Let me specify that I want finish as American maple again. So after setting the preferences, if you add any furniture, then let's say I'm adding a base unit. Then when you check the base unit, you can see that the carcass is a 16 mm MDF plain. The shutter is American maple. You can see that the countertop is granite solid surface. So when you set the preferences before starting the design, any furniture you add will capture those preferences by default. The same goes for wardrobes as well. If you select wardrobe here, then you can again specify the preferences for carcass, shutter, handle, and skirting, and the same will be recorded when you add any furniture from wardrobes.